we're now going to look at percentiles on the Z distribution. This will hopefully strengthen your concept of percentiles in general and on the workings on the Z distribution tables. Let's say that we're looking for, and of course percentiles on the Z means nothing until we go to useful probability distributions involving the Z later. But let's talk about now the 90th percentile. Right, by definition that means that probability, not at 0, probability of getting Z, generic value, less than the 90th percentile on the Z distribution is equal to 0.9. Okay, so diagram. So let's say that the 90th percentile is here, say P sub 90, as we did in the first module. That means that 90% of the distribution is above that, below that, right? Okay. So 90% of the distribution is down here. All right. So if 90% of the distribution is below P90, okay, how much is in this part of the distribution from 0 to P90? Well, let's back out a little bit. And what's the probability of getting from negative infinity to 0? What's the probability of getting this part here? Well, it's that half-sided distribution. That's a half. Okay, so the probability of getting from 0 to the 90th percentile has got to be 0.4. So together, 0.5 plus 0.4 equals the 90th percentile. Of course, whatever is left, the 10% in the top part, but there's the 0.4 that's of importance to us. Oops, let's try to draw a straighter line than that. So we're going to go to our Z tables and look for the number closest to 0.4. Alright, and that will tell us the Z value. Alright, and I said that's just the closest one. Okay, 0.4. They're sequential, so it's not that hard to find. Numbers closest to 0.4, the number closest to 0.4 is here on the Z of 1.2 row, 0.08 column. Alright, so this is 1.2, this is 0.08. So the 90th percentile on the Z is approximately 1.28. Okay. Alright, I want you now to find the 95th percentile on the Z. So pause the video and run through it yourself. Alright, I'm going to continue. The 95th percentile, again at some value up here. We have 0.5 or half the distribution below 0 to get us through the 95th percentile. All right, 95 minus 0.5 is 0.45. So we're going to go to our tables, look for the probability 0.45. Sorry, didn't want to do that. 0.45 is actually on the next row. It's you could choose either of those two. Okay, the 1.64 or the 1.65. So that you can say that the 95th percentile is either 1.64 or 1.65. Actually, way down the road you can find out that it's precisely 1.645, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Depending on the situation, you could use either of those two numbers to be your answer. Alright, let's do something perhaps a little bit trickier. Let's talk about the 10th percentile on the Z. draw a diagram so you understand what's going to happen here. 10th percentile. Remember that the mean of the distribution 0 is the 50th percentile. The 10th percentile has to be below that, so there is 0.1 of the distribution below it. How much of the distribution is from the 10th percentile through 0? Well, since there's half on that side, that's 0.4. Okay. Remember though that these numbers on this side are negative numbers, while on the other side you have positive numbers. Okay, we've done or found the probability or the z value that gives us a probability of 0.4 in our first example. Okay, and that was 1.28. But we're on the negative side now, so P10 is negative 1.28 because the probability from 0 to negative 1.28 is 0.4, so the probability of getting less than negative 1.28 is 0.1. Therefore, negative 1.28 is the 10th percentile. And to try one more of these, I want you to find the 20th percentile on the Z. Again, suggest you pause the video, and when you've got your answer, check mine. With all of these, you either should have a very strong understanding in your mind what the diagram looks like, or draw the diagram. P20 is here. Alright, by definition, there's 20% below. How much is there from the 20th percentile through 0, which is the 50th percentile? Alright, by definition, there's 30% there, or 0.3. So we're going to go to our Z tables, find the closest number to 0.3 probability. Okay, and 0.3, closest number I see is there, 2995, and that's 0.8 row, 0.04 column. So P20 is negative, since it's below 50%, 0.84. Okay, and that's the answer. And hopefully that's enough to get you going on the percentiles on the Z. And that's the end of this video.